Always checking out your videos. So peace, man. Love everybody. The takeover is for real.
The takeover. There you go.
The takeover is real, baby.
That's a fact. Let's go.
You about the only smart guy that I know, bro. Nobody knows shit about boxing.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I've been trying to tell him. Take care, man.
You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoe program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of day. Who the fuck you think you fucking with? I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here.
Teofimo is someone that a lot of people will not give him a chance against Lomachenko, but people like myself, I definitely see some things that he has going in his favor, being that he's a bigger lightweight than Lomachenko. He will easily, without a shadow of a doubt, be the most athletic, the most experienced. No, not experienced. The most athletic, most just like young fighter he's ever fought, and the kind of power he brings to the ring, the kind of skill set he brings to the ring, the counter punching, the jab, the fundamentals. Just those nuanced skills of boxing that he has, and that led him to have a really good amateur career that has delivered him some really sensational knockouts. You know, I think he poses some threats to Lomachenko, and you know, a confident fighter is a dangerous fighter, and I think Teofimo is a very confident fighter. I just think it's ridiculous, man, how everybody is so quick to write him off. I mean, people were writing him off before, but now it's like, oh, BT, you know, I can't believe you said that Teofimo Lopez had a chance against Lomachenko. He still has a chance against Lomachenko. In fact, this could be the best thing that ever happened to his career, him struggling against Nakatani, for a couple of reasons. Because one, it gives him that wake-up call that he needs. That, hey, you can't be boxing here at this level. You need to go to this level at World Championship level. That's number one. And number two, aside from that, it also might give Lomachenko to sign the contract, give him that courage to sign the contract and finally fight Teofimo. Because if Teofimo would have won in there against Nakatani and just knocked him out like he'd been knocking everybody else out, then Lomachenko would say, oh, he needs a belt, he needs belt, he needs this, he needs belt. But now that Teofimo struggled, now he can go in there in these interviews and say, oh, well, he's a clown and he thought he could box with me and yada yada. So now it gives Lomachenko this false sense of confidence, and him and Teofimo Lopez's lackluster performance against Nakatani could actually be the worst thing to happen to Lomachenko. I think Teofimo will be a very live dog in the fight Lomachenko. I just think Lomachenko is not a big lightweight. Lomachenko, Teofimo's craftiness, his counter punching, his up jab, you know, there's the things that he keeps showing fight by fight. Just impressive fighter. To my opinion, the best young American prospect in all of boxing. I'm going to leave it at that. So, Teofimo Lopez, the man to defeat Lomachenko. Lomachenko versus Lopez, 2019 top rank. Bob Arum, the Bobfather. Make the damn fight happen. And look, Lomachenko is on a downward spiral. He's looked good, but he hasn't looked as sensational in his last couple of fights. I know deep down, because he keeps talking about it, he really wants to go back down to 130, and I know that he's not going to say it like this in the media, but he really wants to just get this out the way so he can go back down to 130. Because Lomachenko at 130 is, to me, is a damn near unbeatable fighter. 135 Lomachenko, there's vulnerabilities, there's, you know, with the lack of size, with the lack of you know, strength to match some of these guys. He beats them with his smarts, he beats them with his skills, but you know, there's only so long he can stay at the weight class before he runs into somebody that has the right amount of skills, size, athleticism, and I've always, and these are the reasons I think Teofimo Lopez is gonna beat him. So I've been making a lot of videos recently, and I've been getting very spirited. I've been getting very animated. I've been speaking very, very bluntly about the situation in regards to Vasyl Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. And I think what it's done more than anything is it is blatantly exposed the hypocrisy and the mentality of many boxing fans, so-called boxing fans. And I'm gonna tell you guys why I'm saying that, okay? A lot of times as fight fans, we say we want to see the best fight the best. We gotta see the best fight the best. And then we see a young, sensational, incredible talent, who, by the way, is an American fighter, and Teofimo Lopez. So a lot of you guys that are coming to our Americans, you're Yanks like myself. And then we get a guy who, unlike the other, you know, guy at 130 who wants to duck and who wants to be the next pay-per-view star, Gervonta Davis, you know, unlike that guy who is in the witness protection program for boxing, who will never fight Lomachenko, this guy Teofimo Lopez, who I would say, with one quality win, will already have better resume than Tank Davis. This guy Teofimo Lopez, he's telling you guys, and he's clamoring for this fight. And he has the mentality, and he has the ambition, and he has the self-belief to want to take this fight, and y'all shit on him for it. You say I want you guys in the comments to let me know as boxing fans, which one is it? Do you want a guy who wants to fight the best, or do you want someone who wants to become a star? Because we see a guy who wants to become a star, and that's all it's about for him in Tank Davis. And then we see a guy in Teofimo who wants to fight the best. He's calling out the best, and he's telling the best pound fighter in the world that he will smoke his ass and give him a South Florida style ass whooping. You know, Teofimo Lopez, you know, he didn't train too far from where I lived, you know, over at the Davey Powell. Big shout out to the Davey Powell. So if you're in the South Florida boxing scene and you know anything about the Davey Powell, you know the Davey Powell, they produce killers, straight killers coming out the Davey Powell. And Teofimo Lopez is proof of that, and there's some more killers coming along, like Xander Zayas. Be on the lookout for him. He signed a promotional deal with Top Rank. The youngest fighter ever signed a promotional deal with Top Rank. You know, Lomachenko's a fighter that I believe we've already seen the best of Lomachenko, and that's not a knock on him. He's still a fantastic fighter. He's still going to go on and do some great things in his career, but we've already seen his best. He is on a downward spiral. I mean, he beat Luke Campbell, yes, but Luke Campbell caught his ass on the way in, you know. I mean, when he fought Linares was giving him some serious work in that fight until Lomachenko got up and stopped him. He had to dig deep. So it's a known fact. I know this, you know this, and anybody who watches boxing knows this, that 135 pounds is not even Lomachenko's best weight. It's not his best weight. We know he's not a big 135 pounder. We know that Teofimo Lopez is a big 135 pounder. We know that Lomachenko has a lot of wear and tear on his body from his amateur career and so far in the pros. We know that Teofimo Lopez is a fighter that is coming into his own very, very quickly. So, you know, it's not crazy to think that Teofimo Lopez will beat Vasyl Lomachenko this fight. And unlike people that saw the Kamei fight that are not going to jump on the bandwagon and say that, oh, okay, well, I think Lopez will beat Lomachenko, I've always said it. I've always said it. Even after the Nakatani fight, you can check my receipts. I've always said it. So, and they got to make corrections, and they got to make them quick. But to just dismiss him because he had a lackluster performance against Masahiro Nakatani, I think it's just another example of this knee-jerk society we lived in. Because he's still a fantastic fighter, he's still a fantastic talent, and even though he didn't look his best, he still won the fight pretty clearly. Like, yeah, he struggled. Yeah, he lost 4 rounds. I would say he lost 4 rounds, maybe 5 if you want to be extra generous. But I think he lost 4 rounds. I think the consensus is he lost 4 rounds against Nakatani, and you know, he has to really regroup, and it has to be quick. But it could wind up being a big blessing for him, because look, the old adage in boxing is styles make fights, and no disrespect to Vasyl Lomachenko, but he's not going to present the same challenges to Teofimo Lopez that Masahiro Nakatani presents. Not because he's not a great fighter, but because he doesn't have the same sort of measurables and frame. You know, Nakatani is a long, rangy, lanky boxer. You know, so Teofimo Lopez had like a 5 or 6 reach disadvantage, and he's not going to have that problem with Lomachenko. He'll probably be the bigger guy when he fights Lomachenko. You see what I'm saying? And we've seen Lomachenko, like, as good as Lomachenko is, I'm not going to sit here and say he's not a great fighter, because he is a great fighter. But he's not an invincible fighter. And Teofimo Lopez, if Lomachenko would get in the ring with him, is hands down the most athletic fighter he's ever fought. He'd be probably the most confident fighter he's ever fought, because, I mean, shit, how confident could Linares have been going into the fight? You know, Linares is the guy that had been stopped many times in his career before he fought Teofimo. Granted, he was on a 5-fight win streak. He had, you know, but still, it was a big fight. I thought the stage was a bit too big for him, even though he performed well. Pedraza, I mean, come on, nobody thought he was gonna win. Rigondeaux, beaten man before he got in the ring. Mariaga, brought up from another weight class. Sosa, a good fighter, but didn't have enough in the tank to beat Lomachenko. Nicholas Walters, you know, a very good fighter at one point in his career, but, you know, didn't have enough of this, in my opinion. Then you have Gary Russell, also another guy, didn't have enough of this to hang in Lomachenko. So what I'm saying, I think Teofimo has this, he has this, and he has just so much going for him. And making this video, okay, I'm a little bit excited because this guy, when I watch him fight, I'm not gonna lie, you know, he's a prospect, but I feel almost disrespectful calling him a prospect because he's so damn skilled and complete. So we're talking about the man Teofimo Lopez, okay? Teofimo Lopez, fresh off of a sensational performance, another sensational performance over Diego Magdaleno. Just beat him up, stopped him. It was a conclusive, destructive, sensational, whatever positive adjective you can use, it was that for Teofimo Lopez. But what I will say is neither Nicholas Walters nor Gary Russell Jr. possessed the level of athletic ability and power blended together like a Teofimo Lopez. This is a different caliber of fighter Lomachenko's fighting. He's not a hype job. He's not someone that's got fast hands and slow feet, or fast feet and slow hands. He's got both, and he's got great reflexes to go with it. He's got fantastic punching power, and coming off the heels of a Comey win in sensational fashion at the Madison Square Garden, I just can't see how Lomachenko's gonna beat this kid. I can't. Versus Lomachenko, it does nothing for me as a fight fan. No disrespect to Crawler, but I give him almost no chance against Lomachenko because he is a light punching boxer who has been beaten plenty of times by way lesser fighters like the Derry Matthews of the world. Been stopped by like Derry Matthews, you know, got outboxed twice by Linares. You know, he's not going to be able to do anything with Lomachenko. I've seen him fight plenty of times to know that. Could he give him some decent rounds? Yes, but nothing I see from Anthony Crawler leads me to believe as a fight fan that he will give Lomachenko any sort of problems. Teofimo Lopez, even right now, as green as he is with the lack of big fight experience that he has, just naturally, his talent, his attitude, his mentality towards the sport, he will give Lomachenko a better fight than Anthony Crawler. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Pack of bums to get to this point. You know, he's earned it. But it is a mismatch. Whether you like it or not, it is a mismatch. And but I wish him the best. I'll be rooting for him to upset Lomachenko because Lomachenko's a chump for ducking Manny Pacquiao, and now he's talking about fighting Tank Davis, going back down to 130 to avoid Teofimo Lopez because he don't want that smoke. So I wish Anthony Crawler the best, but I'm gonna enjoy the fight this weekend. When Teofimo Lopez comes and becomes Lomachenko's mandatory, or he gets a belt, I want to come here the first. I'm talking the first interview he ever does, where he talks about Teofimo Lopez after he becomes mandatory or champion. I'm gonna come back on here, and if he doesn't keep that same energy, it will be World War III up in this mofo, straight up. Because, come on, man, like we want to see the best fight the best. And I might have a YouTube channel. I might go to these gyms and I might do all these things and whatnot. But I'm a boxing fan. I'm a fight fan. And as a fight fan, I want to see the sport grow. I want to see the sport have great fights, respectable fights. I want to see the best fight the best. And as it stands at lightweight right now, there really are only a handful of great fights to be made. You know, I think like Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko is a great fight. Teofimo Lopez against Richard Comey, I think it'd be a good fight. I think for those of you guys out there who aren't sold on Teofimo like I am, that'd be a fight where I think he'd be able to prove himself. But I stand by it, and I've always stood by this, what I said earlier this year, that Teofimo Lopez is the man to beat Vasyl Lomachenko. And believe it or not, like I remember after the Nakatani fight, I made a video when I was at the basketball court, and it was probably one of my most disliked videos of the year in terms of like to dislike ratio. And I was saying that, look, this Nakatani fight could be one of the best things that happens to Teofimo, because then it forces him to get in the gym, correct certain things, whatever he had going on outside the ring. It gives him that wake-up call to correct that, because he cannot be messing about at this level of boxing. And I was saying that, you know, if he's able to get his proverbial house in order outside the ring, that this could be the greatest thing to happen to him inside the ring. And for him to make that 180-degree turn from the Nakatani fight to the Comey fight, it's literally been, it was two different people. I mean, it was two different people. And now that he's defeated Richard Comey in the way he did under the bright lights of Madison Square Garden, now he's a world champion himself. I think this gives him more confidence. I think this makes him harder to beat. These other prospects, and I'll say it like this, man. The way I see it, Teofimo Lopez is the best young prospect in all of American boxing. Better than Devin Haney, okay? Way better than Ryan Garcia. The guy is a complete fighter, and more importantly than the skills he has, it's the mentality. It's the way he talks about himself. He has the right amount of self-belief. It's not cockiness, but it's the right amount of self-belief. And it's not, and you can tell when he talks, it's not coming from a place of he's trying to convince himself. He really believes the shit that comes out of his mouth, and that's why I rock with Teofimo Lopez. Now, he gets applauded for it, and then now you got a guy, Teofimo Lopez, who he himself, you know, he wasn't Lomachenko as an amateur, but then again, who is, with this exception of maybe like 4 or 5 fighters in the history of boxing, you know, you get a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who was no scrub as an amateur. I mean, this guy was a standout amateur, you know, a national champion, you know, Olympian, all that stuff. He was a fantastic amateur, blue chip in the amateurs. And everybody they put in front of him, whether they be, you know, so far in his career, he's only fought like gatekeeper, tough journeyman. But he's fought guys that Devin Haney have fought, guys like Felix Verdejo have fought, and he's beat them in more impressive fashion. So my thing is this: why is it? And I want to pose this to you guys because I made a video about the subject last time, and that's what when I read the comments and I really began to marinate on what you guys are saying, it really dawned on me like Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko are not held to the same standard. And mind you, I like Lomachenko. I think he's a fantastic fighter. I'm pissed off with him. My opinion of him has lowered, but I'm gonna watch this fight this week, regardless of what I'm saying about it. I'm gonna watch this fight. I'll be live for it. So if you're in the area, you know, join me on my live. But I'm just saying, nobody said he was too green to the professional ranks of boxing, and he got applauded for giving a good account of himself. And then now you get a guy with 13 fights who believes in himself, who is, you know, I mean, I know I have 4 eyes and my vision isn't great, but I can look at him on TV and I can see that, man, this guy is an extraordinary talent. This guy can be, you know, a world champion and be a dominant one if he puts it all together. And he wants to challenge himself. He wants to fight the best. You know, in fact, in case you don't know, because maybe this fact gets glossed over by, you know, all the hoopla going on right now, but he wanted to fight Jose Pedraza on this card. Top Rank was, if you guys remember, Top Rank was initially targeting Pedraza for this fight on April the 20th, and now, for whatever reason, it's not happening. But he wanted to fight Pedraza, and I believe wholeheartedly that if the Pedraza fight would have been on April 20th, that Pedraza would retire on April the 20th, because that's what Lopez would have did to him. He would have beat him soundly. He needed to see this guy. He needed to see Teofimo Lopez, because this guy right here, unless Comey scores an upset, this guy right here is the man to beat Lomachenko. At 21 years old, 11 fights in, I think this kid is the man to beat Lomachenko. Teofimo Lopez can do it all in the ring. I mean, the guy is an excellent counterpuncher. He rolls with shots well. He counters off of them well. He throws a pretty good jab. He throws up jabs. He has good head movement. He is a complete fighter with a complete skill set who at the age of 21 is fighting well beyond his years, in my humble opinion. You know what? I'll give him bigger praise. You see this guy behind me? You see this guy behind me right here, Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather? I'm not saying he's as good as Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather, but what I will say is when I watch him fight, I see a lot of Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather in Teofimo Lopez. Particularly, like, for example, when he fought Diego Magdaleno just this past week in the I believe it was the 7th round when he scored the knockdown. The way he just leaped in with the left hook and then followed up after it, it reminded me very much of when Floyd Mayweather fought Diego Corrales, and he would jump in with the left hook and he stunned him and knocked him down. It looked very reminiscent to that for me, okay? Lomachenko responds by saying, I want to fight Tank Davis. He wants to fight the guy in witness protection. But then the guy that signed to the same promotional company as you, the guy that would be the easiest fight to make with you, you don't want to fight him because he has to become a mandatory. So, and the way he talks, the way he believes in himself, you know, they asked him about, you know, fighting Lomachenko. He said, look, I would love to fight Lomachenko, but my goal is not to fight Lomachenko. My goal is to fight for titles, you know. I'm not waiting for him. I'm not waiting for no man, because I'm Teofimo Lopez. I'm not about to be treated as an opponent. So he has till this year to fight me. I'm moving up to 140. But like I've said in many of my Teofimo Lopez videos, that this is a fighter that's fighting at a maturity beyond his years, and that you can't talk about Teofimo Lopez the way we talk about most prospects, and we saw that in the Comey fight. And now that he's beating Comey, people are now once again intrigued by this fight. And that's a good thing. I think that's a great thing, because we need big fights in boxing. And to be honest with you, this is probably one of the fights that I'm most excited for next year, because it's gonna be a big ask of Teofimo. I'm not gonna disrespect Lomachenko. It is a big ask for him to go in there in his 15th fight and beat up Vasyl Lomachenko. But you know what? I've been saying it for a long time. I really believe what I'm saying. I'm not saying it just to say it. I believe this kid is special. I've always thought he was a special fighter. So, just in the comments, as I'm saying this, I want you guys to tell me, why is it that Lomachenko wasn't green for Salido in a second professional fight, but then Teofimo Lopez is you know, he's about to be in his 14th professional fight, and he wants to fight Lomachenko, but yet he's too green. I mean, we gotta start holding some of these guys to the same standards here. Like it's getting ridiculous. And then now you got Lomachenko, and I just watched the interview, and it's funny because you got Lomachenko talking about Gervonta Davis again and going down to 130 again, and it's like, bro, you're at 135. Your fans are telling me constantly the truth in my comment section. Oh, he's trying to go undisputed. Oh, he's trying to fight Comey. Oh, he's trying to fight this guy. But then here he is talking about Gervonta Davis again. When I know it, you know it, and all the boxing world knows that Leonard Ellerbe won't let Tank Davis fight Lomachenko. Mayweather won't let Tank Davis fight Lomachenko. They won't even let him fight Tevin Farmer on the zone. So what the hell makes you think they're gonna let him fight Lomachenko? I mean,